Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. I know this is probably not going to be a shock to anyone, but Sadiq Khan don't half talk a load of old rubbish. He has for years now been pushing, let's get the cars out of London, let's make driving difficult, let's have lovely clean air, let's save the world. And yet, on one trip to Africa, he has used more carbon, CO2 than most Brits use in a whole year. The guy is an absolute hypocrite. He flew a whopping 12,000 miles on one trip last month. It was for his Africa visit. It was all for himself, of course. He was pretending he was doing it for London. He's the London mayor. Stay in bloody London and do your job there. Try and sort out all the stabbings, you know? Try and sort out the housing problems. Try and sort out the crime. Oh, no, no, no. I've got to go and represent London as I travel all over Africa. Christ's sake. Won't, you know, he sits there and he moans on about, oh, the planet, oh, we've got to save the world and all that, and then he does this. He said at the time, my visit marked a milestone, the first mayor of London to lead a trade mission to Africa. Not your job to lead a trade mission to Africa. That's why we've got a foreign office, you dick. But he's also just full of himself. He's a tiny, tiny little man with a massive ego, and he thinks by doing all this, people will look up to him. They don't. He's 4 foot nothing. They look down on him, physically as well as metaphorically. Anyway, he went from London to Lagos, flew in very premium economy. Lagos to Accra, he flew in economy. But then it's only a 1 hour flight. He can just about manage that. Accra to Joburg, business class. Joburg to Cape Town, another little quick hop. He flew economy. But then from the very southern tip of Africa, all the way back up to London, nearly a 12-hour flight, business class, because he's worth it. Now, I don't know about you, but when you're 4 foot tall like him, you can sit in economy and you've still got plenty of leg room. I'm honestly, he sits on those plane seats and his feet don't hit the ground, do they? They swing. 12,000 miles. He took 11 officials with him, including a photographer, because he has to look good, a senior video producer, head of news, head of media, public affairs advisor, 2 international relations officer. And he's not publishing the costs either. They will eventually have to, of course, but at the moment those costs are being firmly under wraps. But if you're sending a dozen people on a big trip like that and you go in business class, let me tell you, it ain't going to be cheap. Meanwhile, your average person in London stands about 1 in 3 chance of getting stabbed in any particular year because of Khan and his doesn't give a shit policies. People of London, have you not had enough of this tiny little dick already? Thanks a lot. Bye.